Hey everybody, Vincent here. First of all, I just wanted to thank everybody for coming out last Thursday. It's the very first of the hybrid editions of the Cypher. For me at least, it was a real weird feeling being back. It was great to see everybody and play with everybody. In the context of urban science, I think a lot of the musicians have been gigging and even touring, but those are the kind of scenarios where we're playing a fixed set list and it's just A to B, but being on stage and having to create something on the spot is something that we haven't been doing for a very long time. So it was really great, but also a little bit disconcerting to be back in that context. So all that said, I know the event was not what it once was. That's why we call these the hybrid editions, but we're making steps to get closer and closer to the thing that we used to do. Here's some improvements and changes for the event coming up. With the limited capacity due to the COVID restrictions, it was not surprising that the event sold out last Thursday. So first of all, if you want to come, go get your ticket ASAP right away. Get your ticket before it gets sold out. Now, even though it was sold out, by the time the jam started up, there was a lot less people in the room, and it was kind of annoying because we had sold out all the tickets and people were outside who wanted to come in and couldn't. Anyway, all that said, we're now going to keep an eye on the inside of the room, and if it's quite obvious that there is room available, then we will be making more tickets available, allowing more people into the room. Also, we definitely had the case where some people had bought tickets, but then, they weren't able to come for whatever reason and are trying to give them away. So if you have tickets and you can't come, tag our account and use the hashtag CypherTix, and we're going to try to hook you up with somebody that's trying to get tickets, either give them away or just, buy them with an e-transfer or something. And this is the link for the point of vault for how to give away your tickets to somebody else. This has been a difficult time for all of us, but undeniably, it's been the worst for healthcare workers. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If you are a healthcare worker and you've been working during the pandemic, we will gladly give you a free ticket. So contact us. You can email us info@urbsci.com and just give us some form of proof that you're a healthcare worker, and we'll set you up with a free ticket. In general, stuff ran a little late. I know that the live stream went down, and I'll be honest with you, it's super rusty in my head how this event used to run. So we're just kind of getting it back in there, one step at a time. And this week will be better. The live stream we'll have a backup camera, all this kind of stuff. So please have patience with us as we get back into the swing of things. I know the vibe is weird with everybody seated and masked and all this kind of thing, but the good news is it has just been announced that as of November 15th, it will be possible to not be seated, to dance in venues and all this kind of thing. That said, we're still requiring the mask when you're not taking a drink. When we first applied for this grant, the worst case scenario proposal was that we would have the opening act, Urban Science, and two separate band setups, so that when we did the jam would be only between the opening act and Urban Science, with no crossover between the two. We didn't even know if there was going to be any in-person attendance. In the end, although that is kind of a cool idea, we decided to bring back Cypher the way we wanted it to be, in the sense of a jam session where anybody can participate. So we appreciate your patience, and we're slowly coming back. Last thing I wanted to mention is we found a bunch of bottles and cans at the end of the night that clearly were not purchased at the venue. You cannot be sneaking alcohol into the bar. That's just not okay. Obviously, you're hurting the bar with their beer sales, but you're also hurting them in terms of potentially risking their liquor license. And in fact, the only thing that does is that now we're forced to look into everybody's bag, open up coats, make sure nobody's hiding anything, and nobody wants that, but we got to do that to prevent people from sneaking alcohol into the venue. That said, I get it. I get wanting to save some bucks and drink ahead of time or whatever, but that's it. Just drink ahead of time. Do some pre-drinking and then come on down, buy a drink at the bar, support the venue, but also have fun. There's a middle ground to be found there. Anyway, thanks so much again. We are improving with every single week. We hope to see you soon. Can't wait for November 15th when dancing is possible again. Baby steps, one at a time. We'll see you next week at the Cypher.